Hello, my name is Rogan Douglas, and I'm doing a voiceover, I guess you could say, of my business plan presentation. Starting off with who I am, I'm the CEO of my company, called Rogan's Lawn Care. I'm currently a student at Mountain Home, Idaho, Mountain Home High School. I've owned the business since 2020. That was right when COVID was starting, and I kind of thought to myself, what can I do to get up off the couch, and make a little bit of money in the process. In the meantime, I remember sitting on a Zoom call one day with one of my teachers, and they asked what plans I had for the summer, and at that time I was like, man, I didn't know. I was in seventh grade, hang out with my friends, normal stuff 13-year olds would do. And I thought to myself, what can I do to make myself productive? What can I do to make myself, more engaging, more exciting? So I thought, let's go. What am I good at? Oh, I'm good at mowing the yard. Can I, can I make money off that? So I remember going door to door, and it took 3-4 doors till I got my first yes. And I was like, okay, that's not too bad. So I'm up to one door right now, right? One customer. I've knocked on 4. And I remember I kept knocking door after door after door after door. It felt like probably 50 doors before I got my next yes. And I was like, okay, this is doable, Like, I've knocked on some doors, I've gotten 2 yeses. Say I knock on 100 more. What's the probability I get, say, 5 of those, So I remember starting in 2020, going into my 8th grade year, my 7th grade summer. I started off with only 3 customers. And they're still my customers now. They're great to be around, great to interact with, and overall great people. Year after year, I remember growing. Once I got my license, the number grew like quite a large amount. It went from 5 customers all the way up to 17, what I have now. I got started, like I said, my 7th grade summer, and it was. My dad let me take our side-by-side. I'd load our mower into the side-by-side, and I would actually drive in the ditch to avoid getting in trouble because I technically was on the road. So I drive in the ditch to the houses that I needed to do. So that's how I first started. Started from 3. Once I was able to, save up enough money to get equipment, supplies that I needed, I was able to go from 3. I know I remember my next year was like, I jumped all the way up to 6 or 7, and then, 10, 11, and then now this last year I've really grown up to 17. Yeah, so that's just a little bit about me, how I started, why I enjoy doing it. It brings me joy to see people happy, and see their yards well maintained. Starting off with our content overview. Talk about our branding. I remember starting off, I had little to no branding at all. Didn't even know what it was or how to do it. My target customers or my market, sales strategies, estimated revenue, and startup costs. I remember, gosh, when I was younger, estimated revenue, I wasn't projecting what I was going to make. I was just going door to door and collecting the money, right? So, and then startup costs, I remember starting when I was 13, 14, were very, very low. I don't think I paid for anything, honestly. It was literally what we just had in our garage, and I made work. So yeah, like I said, like my target customers started really, really, really low. Moving on. My slogan, I live by this. I live by this not only in a business matter, but in day-to-day life. Customers first, lawn care second. I prioritize respect, integrity, honesty, everything that goes into being a good human being, and I take that into my business. Making sure everyone's happy, everyone is like, if we have a disagreement, we meet in the middle. We negotiate something. That way we are both happy individuals, and the task is able to be done. So like I said, at Rogan's Lawn Care, we value our customers' needs and making sure they are happy at all times. Happy customers, healthy lawn. Going into branding, having a website is crucial. It's the very first thing you should establish. One of the first things that, I think everyone should have. Having a website, they type in your name and you're the first one to pop up. That's really important. That, that gets your name out there. Better reviews, people want to people want you. I mean, people want to see your work, and having your website is able to, it makes it easier not only for you but for the customer as well. Being able to book times, having your phone number on there, being able to like just being able to be contacted easily. Also, one thing that I enjoy is advertising on Instagram and TikTok. Um, Advertising on Instagram and TikTok is something I'm familiar with, something I enjoy doing, something I'm good at.